at one running back spot. Buford Jordan the other. Eric Martin and Quinn Early are the wide receivers. Ironhead Hayward and Dalton Hilliard remain on injured reserve for the New Orleans Saints, the regular starting backs. Floyd Turner is in the lineup. He goes right to left. Play action as the back slipped. It's into the flat, caught by Brenner, and he is spilled as he gets to the 25-yard line. Defensively, Pearsall, Michael Carter are joined by Larry Roberts. Kevin Fagan, the normal right defensive end, is inactive today with an injury. Charles Haley playing with injuries today, joined by DeLong, Michael Walter, and Romanowski. And in the secondary, Merton Hanks, the rookie, Don Griffin, Todd Bowles, and a former New Orleans Saints, Dave Waymer. Second down and 5. Long count by Walsh. Play fake again. Steve Walsh wide open. Floyd Turner slips and falls, or he could have had a bundle. There's a fumble. Now will it be ruled down by contact? No! San Francisco football. Dave Waymer with the recovery. And a conversation among the officials. Welcome those of you who've been watching the Miami-Tampa game where the Dolphins win big. We are scoreless in the opening moments, 49ers and Saints. Floyd Turner with a 26-yard catch and then a fumble.
The Saints come out with 2 play-action passes in a row, and this is a big play, but the field here at Candlestick comes into play right now because Early slips and falls down, and now the ball is popped loose by Waymer. It's on the ground before Early is. Heads-up play by Waymer as he picks up the fumble recovery against his old teammates.
And it was Quinn Early instead of Floyd Turner. First down and 10. Steve Bono getting his 4th start. Flips it out of the flat. And Jerry Rice makes the catch. Gene Atkins with the tackle. Steve Bono on in place of Steve Young. He got his first start against New Orleans in a losing cause, 10-3. And up front, it's Wallace, McIntyre, Sepolu, Roy Foster, Harris Barton, and the tight end Brent Jones. In the backfield, Dexter Carter and Tom Rathman. The wide receivers, Jerry Rice and John Taylor. Second down. Jones splits off to the left side. Rathman in the backfield. Carter in the slot. Bono with time goes left. Jerry Rice. First down, 49ers. At the 41-yard line. Troy Cook pushed him out of bounds.
Well, Steve Bono knows that Jerry Rice is his big playmaker, and this is what he's learned in the last 3 weeks. Give Jerry Rice time to work on the defensive back. There's about 3 moves right there that Rice turns Cook around, then he gets upfield just inside that marker for the first down. But Bono will learn, and he has learned, to stay with Rice, allow him to make the move necessary to get open.
First down and 10. Dexter Carter in the power sweep. Sepolu and McIntyre leading the way, and Carter is cut down as he gets to the 38-yard line. New Orleans defense, one of the best in the NFL, ranked number 2. Martin, Wilkes, and Warren up front. Outstanding quartet of linebackers. Jackson has 9.5 sacks. Swilling has 14. The inside men are Mills and Johnson. Vince Buck has been picked on the last couple of weeks at left cornerback. Atkins and Maxey are the safeties, and Troy Cook is the right cornerback.
That first game down in New Orleans a couple of weeks back, the defensive backs of the Saints played the 49er receivers very tight because Steve Bono was the quarterback. We'll see how they play today.
Spread offense now. Carter in motion, and Bono short drop, pumps, and goes deep. Oops. Wayne Martin knocked it down. Well, Green Bay and Atlanta in a titanic tussle. Let's find out what's happening. Here's Greg.
All right, Vern, final minutes in Atlanta. This Chris Miller to George Thomas pass in the end zone was ruled incomplete. 2 procedure penalties pushed the Falcons out of field goal range. They trail Green Bay with just 1:30 to play. Vern?
Well, it has been fun watching the New Orleans Saints officials here in the press box at Candlestick because so much is riding for them on that game. If Green Bay wins, the Saints can win their first division championship in 25 years with a victory today. Keith Henderson now checks into the 49er backfield. Stunts by the defensive line. A quick flip to Henderson. 2 blockers in front, and he's got yardage down at the 28-yard line. Vincie Glenn, number 29, makes the tackle. A gain of 10.
The one thing that has impressed the 49er coaches is the patience of Bono. Watch as he'll go back in the pocket. This is a screen out to the side here to Henderson, but watch as he just lets that defense get right on top of him. And being 6'4" and strong, he can afford to do that. Get the ball over the top to his receiver, and it's another first down for San Francisco.
Steve Bono, fresh from his best performance of his 6-year NFL career Monday night. In his 4th start, he's 2-1 as a starter for the 49ers. Henderson, not much. Down near the 25-yard line.
You wouldn't expect the 49ers to make a lot of ground against the Saints. They have the number 2 defense in all categories: rushing defense, passing defense, and of course total defense, second to Philadelphia. But their front 7 is especially tough against that run, and San Francisco is not that strong a running team.
Well, it's interesting, Dan. You talk about Detroit, and defensively you say, okay, we stop Barry Sanders and dare them to pass. Against the 49ers, the Saints say, we've got to stop Taylor and Rice and let them run. They've got to beat us with the run. All kinds of motion.
There's a live ball.
Live ball, and it's a recovery by the New Orleans Saints. Ricky Jackson.
Well, this looked like a false start by just about everybody but the center and the quarterback. This should have been whistled dead as soon as there's contact made here. Well, the ball is on the ground. The ball was snapped on time by Sapolu. Bono did not get it. Ricky Jackson heads up along with Swilling. You know they're going to be around that football. And a turnover for San Francisco and a takeaway for the Saints.
Second in the league in takeaways. One behind the Eagles. That is their 15th fumble recovery of the season. First and 10. Scoreless game. Play action again. Walsh settles for his short man, the tight end, Hobie Bretter. And Bill Romanowski makes the tackle.
Well, the interesting thing about the 49ers fumbling is that when they lost the game in New Orleans a couple weeks back, they fumbled 3 times. One was by Bono, but the other 2 were by guys that don't fumble at all, that being Tom Rathman and Harry Sidney. But they were all crucial fumbles. The one touchdown of the Saints to Eric Martin came after Rathman's fumble in the first half.
And the last fumble by Sidney came inside the 20 as the 49ers were driving for the tying touchdown. Second down and 3. Walsh hands it to his second man. This is the rookie, Fred McAfee, who rushed for 138 yards last week in the losing cause to Atlanta.
Well, the key blocks up front. Watch as they all come off and push this way. McAfee takes the handoff and then cuts inside Charles Haley on the weak side. Good job of turning out by both Dombrowski and Haverdink. And George McAfee, Fred McAfee, a bit of an unknown. That's how unknown he is. Makes a nice play.
You can call me George. First down and 10. McAfee, 7 yards back of Steve Walsh. Scoreless first quarter. Walsh rolls out, looks deep. Nobody open. Good downfield coverage. And the ball is dropped. Floyd Turner, number 88, bobbled it.
This is what you might call a coverage sack. Watch one of these guys here. One of the tight ends will come down and out. That is Walsh's first look, but he is going to be covered. There's the down and out pattern there, but this is what you call a coverage sack, where Walsh gets rid of the ball to avoid the sack, but a great job by that secondary.
You know, you don't think of Steve Walsh as being that mobile, but he's only been sacked twice all year.
Makes real good decisions on when to get rid of the ball to avoid sacks.
Only 16 sacks given up by the offensive line. Here's McAfee with the stiff arm. Romanowski with the tackle. That's a modest gain of a couple. Bill Romanowski out of Boston College. 47 seconds remaining in the Green Bay-Atlanta game, and the Falcons, who came back from 14 within a couple of minutes to tie it up, now have the ball inside the Green Bay 20.
That would be a terribly embarrassing loss for Atlanta in light of their tremendous victory last Sunday night against the Saints.
And again, just to set what it means for the Saints, if Green Bay wins, New Orleans can win the division with a victory here. The Saints have lost 3 of their last 5. They've got a third down. Walsh back. Pulls up, fires deep right side. Man coverage. Incomplete, out of bounds. That was Patrick Newman, number 86. And good defensive coverage by the rookie, Merton Hanks of the 49ers.
Well, he's all over it. The ball is going to go out of bounds. It's going to sail on Walsh. Nice grab, but there's just no way that Newman could get his feet down in bounds. Tight coverage by Hanks prevented the quarterback from throwing it in the field of play.
Tommy Barnhart, who's averaging 43.4 yards per punt, is back to do the same. And John Taylor, who's averaging 10.7 yards per return. And that is a terrific punt. Out of bounds, inside the 20-yard line, the 17th time this season that Barnhart has put one out inside the 20. Chris Miller, who's playing with 103-degree fever. It's Andre Rison, and Atlanta has the lead for the first time since early in the game. 35-31.
And we talked about the help that San Francisco needs to get into the playoffs. They could have got a lot of help right there from Green Bay, but it looks like that Atlanta's going to win that one. What a wild one there in Dixie.
Now the 49ers do need help. They must win 4 to get to 10-6. The only teams over which they have tie-breaking advantages are Detroit and Philadelphia, and Detroit leads them by 2 games if they win today. Watch out, here comes pressure from the backside, and Bono is sacked. Pat Swilling with his 15th sack of the season, and a near safety.
Watch him come from the right side of the screen. Bono senses him, though, right about here. Maybe McIntyre said, look out, because Bono takes off, but right now he's got to get rid of the ball, because Swilling is relentless. He's going to get him from behind with his speed. Bono's real lucky to just get 1 yard out of the end zone. But sometimes those offensive linemen, when they're in trouble and they know the guy's going to be free, they'll yell, look out.
Pat Swilling going up against a longtime nemesis, Steve Wallace, at left tackle, and got him that time. Handoff, Henderson slips and falls. It'll be 3rd and long. Well, we told you how Atlanta went on top. Let's take a look at it. Here's Greg back in New York.
All right, Vern, Chris Miller, who did not start this game, has rallied the Falcons in the second half. 16 yards to Andre Rison, 40 seconds to play. Falcons in the lead, Vern.
Well, that'll be harsh news for both the New Orleans Saints and the 49ers. New Orleans had a chance to cinch the division last Sunday night against those same Falcons and lost in overtime. 3rd and 12, a scoreless first quarter. 6:35 remaining. Bono from midway into the end zone. Caught John Taylor, first down. Out to the 19. A gain of 60.
Fantastic job of the 49er offensive line here, giving Bono enough time to get deep in the pocket, Vern, as you mentioned, and then step up and throw the ball. Single coverage on the outside, and this will not hold up for the Saints today. They cannot afford to single cover John Taylor and Jerry Rice. That time they beat the rookie, Reggie Jones.
Bono now 4 of 5 for 38 yards. And a first down and 10. Here's the handoff to Henderson. A flag comes in as about the same time as the tackle was being made. Jerry Markbright is our referee today, and that'll be against the Saints.
Unusual that defensive holding on a running play. It appeared to come real late.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 91, defense, 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That is Robert Pig Goff. And on the sidelines, Joe Montana, who Steve Bono telling us last night, he tries to go over and talk to Joe when he's on the sidelines, and Joe has been a source of great assurance for him.
You talk about going to an encyclopedia for information. The guy has done it all in his career. Bono is no dummy. He knows where to go and get that type of information. I remember playing with Johnny Unitas in San Diego, and every chance I got, I was in his face saying, what do I do now, Johnny U?
He must have told you something right. Time has been called. Word from the bench of the New Orleans Saints is that Floyd Turner has been taken into the locker room for x-rays, a hip injury. Time has been called now by the 49ers with 5:17 to go first quarter and a scoreless game.
And a curious thing about the way this game started, the Saints fumbled on the second play of their first offensive series. 49ers had excellent field position, took the ball down the field to about the 20-yard line, and they fumbled it back to the Saints. So it already appears it's going to be a real defensive battle.
Well, we're told now was not a charged timeout. So administrative stoppage of play, and that means the play clock goes to 25 seconds. And the strategy continues on the sidelines of the 49ers. First down and 10, no score, 5:11 to go, first quarter. Rathman and Carter in the backfield, and Rice in motion. Into the flat. Carter makes the catch at the 30-yard line. Vince Buck, number 26, with the tackle.
This is really a nice catch by Dexter Carter, number 35, as Bono hits him in the flat, but Bono throws it low. But with those tackified red gloves, makes a nice grab. They outlawed Stickum a few years back, but you touch these red gloves, and they're just every bit as sticky as the glue they used to play. They're just a lot cleaner.
Modern technical that Lester Hayes would never wear them.
He'd wear them, but he'd put Stickum on top of them.
Second down, Bono back. Oh boy, Carter not that involved in the passing game this year. He's now caught 13 for the season, and that one he wasn't quite ready for.
Again, the 49ers going with the screen pass, trying to slow down the pass rush of the Saints. But the Saints are not just a two-man pass rushing team. We talk about the linebackers, Swilling and Jackson, but they get a lot of push out of those front three, Frank Warren, James Wilkes, and Wayne Martin. We've already seen Martin figure in on a play when he knocked down a pass by Bono earlier.
Third down. Keith Henderson back in the lineup. Jerry Rice in motion. Bono with time. Tipped. And a good defensive job to negate the interception by John Taylor.
I bet if he had it to do all over again, he would have tried to catch this ball instead of knock it away, because he's knocking it away from number 51, Sam Mills. Sam is only 5 feet 9 inches tall. Watch right in the middle. Actually, it's Toy Cook, and he's not all that much taller at 5'11". There's Sam at 5'9". I think John could have made that grab.
As it is, fourth down. And now Joe Prokop is back to punt to Vince Buck, who waits for it at the 30-yard line. That will bounce by Buck and get a terrific 49er roll to the 12-yard line. 57-yard punt. His longest of the season. New Orleans with offensive problems of late. Lost their last 2 ball games. They've had defensive problems too, as far as that goes. Losing 10-point leads in the fourth quarter in each of their last 2 ball games. And in turn losing to San Diego and Atlanta. Hand off of over the left side out to the 14-yard line. We welcome those of you who've been watching the Atlanta-Green Bay game. We are scoreless in San Francisco with just under 3:45 remaining in the first quarter. No real scoring threat by either team yet. We've had an exchange of fumbles and a couple of exchanges of punts. A sellout crowd at Candlestick. Vern Lundquist along with Dan Fouts. And Atlanta outlasting Green Bay, which means the New Orleans Saints, even with a victory today, cannot clinch the division. They must win today to maintain a 2-game edge. Here's Steve Walsh. And it's incomplete for Buford Jordan out of the backfield. And that will bring up a 3rd down. Mike Walter covering for the 49ers. Atlanta with Andre Rison catching that last minute pass from Chris Miller wins, and they go 8-5 now. And that's a double blow for both the New Orleans Saints and the 49ers. For the Saints, it means that they must win to maintain their 2-game edge. And for the 49ers, who need help from other teams to make the playoffs, that doesn't help. 3rd. Walsh. Caught. Nice catch by Patrick Newman. That's his first catch of the season and a gain of 14. And he has been forced into play as the 3rd wide receiver because Turner's injured.
Well, this is what the Saints love to do. They love to have 3 guys right here and then 1 guy cut to the middle of the field. But what you can't always count on is such a fantastic catch. Watch Newman go high for this wobbly ball right over the middle and then land right on his back, hangs on for the 1st down.
Gain of 14, first career catch. A Plan B acquisition this season from the Minnesota Vikings. Jack Tice starts in motion. Into the flat. Caught by Tice. And that's a gain out to the 34. Well, south of here, the Redskins are playing the Rams. Let's go back to Greg and find out what's going on.
All right, Vern, in Anaheim, Washington can clinch the NFC East title with a winner, a tie, and Mark Rippon has them started 47 yards to Terry Orr. That puts the Redskins up 7-3. Meanwhile, Buffalo has clinched the AFC East with a 24-13 win over the Jets, Vern.
All right, Greg, kind of contrast from last week when all the favorites lost on Suicide Sunday. 2nd down and 1 now at the 38-yard line. Quinn early in motion going from left to right. Here's the toss and the sweep to Gil Fennerty. Nice cutback play, and that's a 1st down for the Saints at the 43-yard line. Todd Bowles with the tackle.
Fennerty's a guy working on a couple of sore knees, but he shows real good mobility and agility on this cut here. Great block by Buford Jordan on Charles Haley. But Fennerty gets inside Griffin up the field, and it's a 1st down for the Saints. But the Saints are dealing the ball all over the field. Mora trying to shed that conservative image that he has with his offense coordinator there, Carl Smith.
1st down and 10. They don't throw much on 1st down. See what the Saints have in mind here. They don't. Brett McAfee, the rookie 6th-round draft choice from tiny Mississippi College in Jackson, makes the tackle. And that's a gain of 8. McAfee, who had those 138 yards last week, but also had a fumble in the 4th quarter.
Well, this is just good old power football. They're going to pull the off-guard Dombrowski here. There's a tight end. Here's another tight end. And they just get all kinds of power on this right side. It's the counter play. Both Dombrowski and Havertine come on the pull, and it's a nice gain on 1st down, about 8 yards.
21 yards in all now for Fred McAfee at 2nd down and 3. Final 20 seconds, quarter number 1. Play fake. Walsh into double coverage, and it was almost picked off by Todd Bowles. Intended for Eric Martin.
But that's good play selection, though. 2nd and short. Put the ball up in the air. You've got 3rd down coming. Why not go for it? It's shades of what the Packers used to do back in the 60s. Bart Starr would always fake the 2nd and 1, it seemed like, to Taylor or Horning and throw it deep to Carroll Dale or Max McGee, Boyd Dowler. I got all my playing cards with me today. You want to trade?
You bet. but I want $2 for McGee. 3rd and 3. Boyd Turner back in the lineup. The X-rays were negative. That pass ought to be good for the first down. They do give him forward progress to the San Francisco 45-yard line. And that will be a conversion. Eric Martin makes the catch to keep his streak alive. That's the end of the first quarter with a score. New Orleans nothing and the 49ers nothing from Candles by the Bay in Northern California with native San Franciscan Dan Fouts. I'm Vern Lundquist. You recognize that scene.
I think that's the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
They haven't changed the name of it, have they?
I don't.
Mount Tamalpais in the background.
Very
Beautiful
good.
day here in the city.
All right, give us the rest of the tour here.
Well, over to the right is downtown.
And where did you live?
Right there.
No, don't say right there. You got it illustrated. This is television. Right there. St. Ignatius High School. First down and 10. New Orleans. Draw play. Fred McAfee runs into Romanowski at the 43.
And McAfee's first game that he saw any significant action was against the 49ers a couple of weeks back. Gained 61 yards in that afternoon, but he did have that fumble just before the 2-minute warning in the 4th quarter.
Fred McAfee grew up in Philadelphia, Philadelphia, Mississippi.
There's one there, too.
Yeah, there is. And he got his first start in Game 7 this year, first chance to play on the practice squad most of the year. 2nd down. No score in the ball game. Play fake. Walsh goes deep down the middle. Top balls is bumped by Hobie Brenner, or he would have had the interception, his 2nd of the season.
I tell you, Bowles is going to pick one off today because he is doing a great job of reading the eyes of Steve Walsh. This is 2 plays now in this series alone that Bowles has had his hands on a Walsh pass. Obviously has studied the tapes of these Saints and especially the quarterback, and if he zeroes in on one guy down the middle, then number 22 feels he's got a shot at picking one off.
Todd Bowles, who is a Plan B acquisition off the Redskins. 3rd and 9, no score in the game. Early 2nd quarter. 4-man rush by the 49ers. Walsh on a slant pattern. There's another fumble, and the 49ers recover. Bill Romanowski. 2nd fumble lost by the New Orleans Saints, who are plus 13 in turnovers coming in.
Watch Walsh look out to the right side here, and he's got single coverage. Keeps Bowles in the middle of the field. There's the pass to Turner. Remember, he's playing hurt with a sore hip. Ball's ripped out. Romanowski picks up the 2nd fumble for the 49ers.
Each year, corporate America spends over $10 billion on overnight shipping. Yet, according to a report in the Wall Street Journal, $3 billion of that is wasted. If you find that kind of inefficiency alarming, call UPS. We can save you up to 40% on overnight deliveries and help prevent your profits from going up in smoke. UPS. We run the tightest ship in the shipping business.
How do you change the best-built full-size pickup in America? You painstakingly reshape the exterior until it's more refined. Make the instrument panel more user-friendly. The available power controls easier to reach. And you redesign the interior for unexpected comfort.
The best never rests.
How did we change the full-size Ford pickup? Very carefully. More
The area coming from overhead, the Fuji blimp, one of the largest in the skies today. The blimp is filled with enough helium to inflate 25 Thanksgiving Day parade balloons or more than 700,000 NFL footballs. Whew. Staggering, huh?
Hey, you're doing your homework.
You bet. Hand me those cards. Bono back. Comes left side. Rice. Oh, boy, that's a rare sight.
That ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage. I think it was Robert Goff got his hand on it. Take a look at it from number 91 is Robert the Pig Goff, and watch him get his right hand up here, and that causes the ball to go end over end a little bit. It's like catching a knuckleball for Rice. He was expecting the fastball. Watch Goff just change the trajectory and the spin of this ball with that right hand.
Big Goff acquired from Tampa Bay in Plan B, and that makes it 2nd down and 10. No score. 14 minutes to go. First half of play. Bono back. Here comes Swilling. Bono steps up in the pocket and finds Carter. And that is something his offensive line has been asking him to do. Don't get so deep. He had a habit of taking almost a 10-yard, 11-yard, 12-yard drop.
Well, he's 6'4". This is the key matchup right here. Watch as Swilling will come upfield. Wallace will turn his shoulders, the quarterback back, and then up into the pocket where it's nice and safe. There's a job by Wallace as he gets help from Rathman, but look at the lane that Bono has to step up. Throws a perfect pass to Carter for the first down.
Steve Wallace grew up in Atlanta. Pat Swilling grew up in Toccoa, Georgia. They first met each other across the line of scrimmage in a high school all-star game in Atlanta 11 years ago. There's a flag down. Bono goes deep right side, man coverage, and Rice makes the grab out of bounds. That'll be incomplete, and there is an infraction. Vince Buck to cover. Motion call, 49ers. You know, it's interesting, Dan, we were talking with Steve Wallace yesterday, and he was the one who let us know that he had only given up 1 career sack to Pat Swilling. And then we had a chance to talk with Pat afterwards, and you halfway expected him to say no.
Illegal motion, number 67 and number 79. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
That's the right side of the line, Foster and Barton. Anyway, Steve Wallace said they first met each other in this high school all-star game. 1 sack he had allowed to Pat Swilling.
And that goes back about 11 years. But Swilling said, yeah, but he leg whipped me one time. He held me another time. He got help from the fullback. He got help from the tight end. But he did not deny it. He's looking for a couple today.
And that number is doubled now because Swilling had a sack against Wallace earlier in this game. Rathman. Not much there behind the line at the 42-yard line. Now the New York Giants sparing against Cincinnati. Let's go back to New York. Here's Greg Gumbel.
All right, Vern, the Bengals went into the playbook and pulled out the flea flicker. Boomer Esiason, 41 yards to Tim McGee in the final minute of the first quarter. They've just started the second period now at Riverfront Stadium, and they're tied at 7, Vern.
Giants, of course, very similar to the 49ers, trying to put together a win streak and get some help and get into the playoffs. There's Pierce Holt, who was injured in the Monday night game. 3rd down and 8 from the 43. No score in the ball game. Bono across the middle. John Taylor, who had gone in motion to the right side, and then comes back to the left to make the grab for 15.
Well, these 2 men right here are going to be so important. Watch Rice clear out. Taylor will come down and across the middle after he gets help from his tight end. Very similar type of play that the Saints like to run. They call that bunching the receivers, and one guy will, with good patience, will just wait for the 2 men to clear out, cut underneath them. If the quarterback has time to throw, you get the ball to a guy that can run like Taylor, you're going to have a big play.
Bono now 7 of 12, 72 yards. Still has it. Jones diving try. Can't quite get there. Steve Bono with that near career game first half on Monday night with 274 yards.
The key to that game for Steve Bono was he got off to a good start. He completed a lot of passes early, all those yards in the first half, but that does a lot of confidence for him, gives him a lot of confidence. He told me yesterday that things are starting to slow down for him. His heart's beating a little bit slower when he's out on the field. He doesn't breathe as fast, and he sees less things. For a quarterback to be able to see less, you actually see more because you're concentrating on the proper things.
2nd down now for Bono and the 49ers. No score. Inside rush taken by Swilling, and the pass delivered on the target to Keith Henderson for a first down. Swilling used a little spin move and got by Wallace to put some pressure on Bono, but Bono accurate with the release.
49ers are number 4 in offense in the NFL. This is Henderson. Watch all the receivers clear out down the field. Henderson comes out. He's got single coverage by a linebacker, and he's just wide open. There's nobody there as the Saints drop into a zone defense, and that's a huge play to the running back out of the backfield.
Rathman and Keith Henderson in the backfield now, 1st and 10. No score. 10:53 to go, first half. Henderson scoots over right guard. Roy Foster and Harris Martin with the blocks. And he's down to the 22.
A couple years back, you were hearing Mike Holmgren's name a lot because the 49ers were in Super Bowls and leading the league in offense every year. But he's still the same guy and still the coordinator for the 49ers. He's done a heck of a job. Here he is right here. He's done a heck of a job having to adjust to 3 quarterbacks this year. Thought he'd have Montana. Montana gets the elbow. Then Steve Young gets the knee. Done a heck of a job with Bono getting him ready to play.
Steve Young, by the way, is dressed today and could play if he's needed, but not 100%. Carter's back in the lineup. Roy Foster leads the way. And right guard. And the ball is good for the first down inside the 20. Roy Foster's an interesting fellow. 9-year veteran at Miami. He was a Plan B available player, and he said he looked at about 8 different teams. And here's the irony. He called Ronnie Lott, who had been put on Plan B by the 49ers, and Ronnie Lott, of all people, talked him into coming to San Francisco.
He said if the money is right, this organization is the best in football, you will be happy and you'll get a chance to win that starting job, and that's exactly what Roy has done. And is he happy about that decision?
First down and 10. Bono into the end zone. Taylor, touchdown!
Well, get the highlight film out. This is one for it. John Taylor with the one-handed stab. Goes up high, knocks it down to himself, juggles it, gets both feet in. Touchdown, San Francisco. But these are the guys, Taylor and Rice, that are going to win a lot of games for San Francisco, and the Saints know it. And these are the guys that didn't want to have beat them. Right now, they're getting beat 7-love.
7th touchdown catch for John Taylor. Jim Mora said to us last night, we can't be giving up big plays. They just did.
The O is Ronaldo Turnbull, and the X is Tom Rathman. Watch this outstanding block by Rathman. Allows Bono to stand tall in the pocket and deliver the touchdown pass. The key is the ability to step up and throw the ball, as Bono did, and have an athletic, beautiful catch by John Taylor.
Steve Bono with his 3rd pass for a TD in his 4 starts. And here's the kickoff by Cofer. Atkins and Jennings are deep. Short kick taken by Stanford Jennings. And the long-time Cincinnati Bengal is dragged down by Antonio Goss, short of the 20-yard line. We've got 9:08 remaining in the first half, and time has been called on the field. Been in town for a couple of days, and Dan has remembered where he lived.
Well, this is the bridge. You know, you got the bridge here. And I remember it was right down here. We couldn't quite see the bridge from our house, but if you walk down the end of the street, you could be right on the bay. Beautiful.
Judging from the number of people who said hello to you, you must have had a graduating class of 6,000 at St. Ignatius. First down, 10. Fred McAfee out across the 28-yard line. McAfee, who, as we said, grew up in Philadelphia, Mississippi, was the manager of the high school football team when he was in the 7th and 8th grades, and the star running back
was Marcus Dupree. And his job was to take Dupree's tearaway jersey and get him a new one. Well, with the old one, he would sell it and made a heck of a living as a youngster. He said he got $100 tops before Marcus Dupree's tearaway jerseys.
Started playing high school only in his senior year. High school football. There's motion. And McAfee again. McAfee is one of 9 children, 5 boys and 4 girls. His older brother Charles was a teammate of Marcus Dupree's. And he said Charles really was an outstanding athlete. He said, did they call him Charles? He said, no, his nickname was Tree. And Dan said, well, was he tall?
He said, not necessarily. He just had a very large afro.
So Tree McAfee led the way, but had an ankle injury, and Fred McAfee has taken up the reins of the McAfee family from Philadelphia, Mississippi.
And he's doing a heck of a job for the Saints right now.
First down and 10. 7:42 to go before halftime. Play fake. Walsh. Crossing pattern. Eric Martin in the middle of heavy traffic. And he moves it inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
This is just a wonderful pass by Steve Walsh as he shows great patience in allowing Martin to come down here. There are linebackers here. There's all these different lanes where he could throw the ball, but he waits for the biggest lane to finally deliver it. Just an outstanding job of throwing between linebackers, and Martin gets upfield for a big first down. This is an impressive drive by the Saints as they try to answer the 49ers drive.
Walsh 13 of 18 already in the first half. Now John Tice sets up at right tight end. McAfee inside the 35 to the 33.
The 49ers went 75 yards in 10 plays after Romanowski's fumble recovery, but it appears that the Saints are ready to answer that with this drive. Already they've gone quite a ways in just 4 plays.
Denver on top by 10, and Kansas City leading Seattle. 7-0 is our score. George Seifert said, we're in sudden death now. We simply have to win every game and then hope for help. Second down and 6. Buford Jordan drops the ball, and he had a lot of room to run.
But you know, he's out of his comfort zone there. A running back, a fullback like Buford Jordan is not really comfortable going down and over the middle. There are not a lot of receivers that are, though. That's where you get the big hits, and I gotta believe that he was just felt a little bit edgy about it. Walsh gave him a good pass. He should have caught it.
Brings up a third down. Walsh 8 of 14 for 104. And he will go out of the shotgun. Joel Hilgenberg will snap it back. Patrick Newman in motion. Blitz is coming. Walsh on a line, gets rid of it. Lovely pass, and that's a first down. Eric Martin. And the sheriff, Stan Brock, is the first man downfield. Number 67.
Yeah, Stan is known as the sheriff because of actions like this. Watch Walsh get rid of this ball in a hurry. Out to Eric Martin, does a super job of standing tough in the pocket. But this is what Stan likes to do. Patrol the pileup. Keep those extra guys like number 40 there, Johnny Jackson, from piling on the wide receivers. And boy, his wide receivers love him for that type of protection.
Stan Brock, the lone veteran from that 1980 team that had a disastrous season. He's now in his 12th season. 49ers have chosen to take a timeout.
By McDonald's.
Saints have turned it over a couple of times. Pat Swilling with 1 sack already, 15 for the year. The only score thus far, John Taylor, 19 yards from Steve Bono, who is 9 of 15. And a good drive being put together now, led by, on the offensive line, that man, Stan Brock.
Yeah, 6'6", 280-pound sheriff, protecting his receivers down the field. A lot of people think he's a cheap shot for doing it, but he really gets the attention of that 3rd or 4th defensive back trying to get a free shot.
First down and 10 from the 24. Walsh looks deep for Martin, and it is incomplete in the end zone. Waymer, the former Saint, almost had the pick. Intended for Quinn Early.
And Waymer is upset with Merton Hanks. Watch Waymer, number 43, and Hanks converge on this one. Waymer thinks he's got a free shot at it, and Hanks goes up and knocks it out of his hands. Early had no shot at it. Great coverage by Merton Hanks and Dave Waymer.
Waymer leads the 49ers in interceptions with 3. They only have 10 for the year. Second down and 10. Here's McAfee, and he spits down to the 22-yard line. Fred McAfee, who played in the Division II program at Mississippi College, said he turned to his real loves in high school were basketball and track. He had a 42-inch vertical leap and great speed, but he didn't play football. He was a 2-time state pole vault champion. And then finally decided to try football in his senior year.
Was a 12-foot pole vaulter in high school, which is getting up there pretty good.
3rd and 7. 7-0 49ers have the lead. 9th play of the drive. Blitz look by the San Francisco defense. They're coming. Walsh gets it free to Martin. 1st and goal at the 6. Don Griffin with a tackle. A gain of 14.
Well, Eric Martin just continues to be the star receiver for the Saints, but this is a good job by Walsh. He sees the blitz coming, so he's going to roll from it. Knows he has man-to-man coverage on the outside, and Martin just gets great separation from Griffin. Takes the ball inside the 10.
Eric Martin now with 4 catches for 51 yards. 1st and goal from the 7. Saints trail 7-0. Trying to sweep the 49ers for the first time since 1979. Double tight end set, McAfee. And not much there. Michael Carter was up on top to help with the block. And it's a modest gain down to the 1. You know, the New Orleans Saints come into this game 9-3, and the 49ers are 6-6, and they both look back at what happened in 1988, but they look back with contrasting views. The 49ers finished 10-6 in that year and went on to win the Super Bowl over Cincinnati. The Saints, having been 9-3, lost 3 of their last 4, finished 10-6, lost on tiebreakers, and were not even in the playoffs. 2nd and goal. McAfee. No, Walsh. Great fake. Oh, what a dandy, and the touchdown is complete to Floyd Turner.
Fake was fantastic, Vern, as Walsh continues to be impressive in this first half. Watch all the action go away as he fakes the ball to McAfee, hides it well, and now Turner turns around the defensive back wide open for the score. 80-play drive, very impressive by the Saints.
And it's a counter punch to the first score of the game when Taylor caught the 19-yarder from Bono. Anderson has scored in 122 consecutive games, and here is his 83rd consecutive point after touchdown. Steve Walsh, Floyd Turner, they've notched it with 3:08 to go in the first half of play. Clark, 90th crowd in excess of 60,000. We are tied at 7-7 with 3:08 to go first half. On the wonderful fake by Steve Walsh, and then the pass to Floyd Turner. Now Morton Anderson getting ready to kick off. Spencer Tillman and Dexter Carter are the deep men for the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers with 3 of their last 4 at home. They go to Seattle next week and finish off here against Kansas City and Chicago. This is Carter. This is still Carter. This is still Carter. Touchdown, no flags.
Just great job of not giving up. couple of guys got a shot at him. Nicholson 38 right here, but Carter doesn't give in. Now he doesn't give in to Vincey Glenn, and he's rewarded by a 98-yard kickoff return for the 49ers. Now they're going to look to see if he did step out of bounds, though.
They will review it. I sure didn't think so.
But the great thing there is both Nicholson and Vincey Glenn had a shot at him, and it appeared they had the angle. There's a dive by Nicholson. He stays in there. There's the dive by Glenn. He stays in there.
Yeah.
You got to count that one.
Well, in a playoff game here in 1972, Dexter Carter, and this is really ironic, Dan and I were talking over the weekend about both of us being in this stadium in 1972 January. Playoff game, Dallas and San Francisco. The extra point is good, and in that game, Vic Washington opened the game with a 97-yard kickoff return for the 49ers. Dexter Carter has just taken his place in the 49er record book. That was 98. But that was Dexter Carter with the 5th longest kickoff return ever.
And the all-time record by a 49ers, Abe Woodson of 105 yards. And I remember it as if it were yesterday because I was watching my dad do the call on it against the Rams, and Woodson almost stepped out of bounds. And if they would have had instant replay back in those days, they might have reversed a fantastic 105-yard kickoff return.
Here's Coper's kick. Taken at the 4 by Gene Atkins. And he's out to the 26-yard line. Vic Washington's 97-yard kickoff is in the record book, but that was in the playoffs. It's the longest 49er playoff kickoff return. Carter's 98-yarder has given the 49ers the lead. The Saints for a TD this year. The other one was 95 yards.
And again, it's a big play that comes up and bites Jim Mora's Saints. He told us yesterday that his team is giving up too many big plays. But how do you account for just an outstanding effort by the 49er return team and a never-say-die effort by Dexter Carter?
Early in motion, and Charles Haley trots offside. That should be a 5-yard penalty.
Charles Haley was early in motion as well.
Yes, he was. Well, the hamstring hurts.
Outside, number 94, defense in the backfield before the snap. No play, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Jerry's getting some airtime there, isn't he?
Yeah, that does not qualify as you're kidding me.
I think they ought to review that just to make sure. You know, that way they can build their stats some more up in the replay booth.
Well, they chose not to, so it'll be first down and 5. 14-7, 49ers lead. Eric Martin in motion, followed by Merton Hanks. McAfee, the rookie running back, out near the 34-yard line. That'll be second down and 1 coming up. McAfee with his 11th carry now on 54 yards. Said he realized when he was in high school. Jim Burt, by the way, is active today. He's been on injured reserve most of the year. The 49ers waived cornerback Mark Lee, activated that young man, and he's in there at nose tackle right now.
And they need him. They've got Kevin Fagan did not dress today. Larry Roberts has a bad leg, as does Charles Haley. So they need all healthy and able bodies up front.
Saints do not get the play snapped before the 2-minute warning, so we have timeout on the field.
That's the 2-minute warning.
Carter's 90
kinds of things there, didn't he? He had Montana's bad elbow. He had a couple broken legs in there.
You bet. That was Terry's Bradshaw Stein report on the NFL today. Second down and 1. Saints trail by 7, 14-7. Stiff arm, close for the first down at the 36-yard line. And the clock with 1:50 remaining. Saints do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, and they do get a first down.
But again, they don't seem to be in a real desperate hurry to get back in the huddle and get on their way. This is a 2-minute drill here. Something the Saints and Jim Mora have been criticized about, play selection and a conservative nature. See if they air it out here.
They sure take the long count. Play fake, Walsh. Caught. Hobie Brenner at the 42. And they used one of their allotted 3 timeouts to stop the clock with 67 seconds remaining in the first half. San Francisco leads it 14-7. Saints have 2 timeouts left. Jim Mora, Carl Smith trying to avoid being criticized prior to the half again. George Seifert's defense on, and the Saints would like to get something out of this final possession of the first half. They've had problems with the 2 minutes remaining before halftime at the end of regulation in the last 2 or 3 weeks. That's Floyd Turner in motion. 4-man 49er rush. The pass complete across the middle, and that might be enough for the first down. We'll have to see if they want to measure. They've not indicated a measurement yet.
First down.
It is a first down. Clock continues to run. 48 seconds to go. Walsh, man open, dropped. Floyd Turner.
And a big hit by Dave Waymer there. Walsh throws it right in the dead area. But they call it the dead area because this is what it sounds like just before you die. And you really, as a quarterback, you really can't blame the guy for not making that catch, because that is a life-threatening situation for those receivers. Dave Waymer getting another big hit on a former teammate.
4 wide receivers in now for the Saints on 2nd and 10. 40 seconds to go. First half. Across the middle, crossing pattern. Floyd Turner chased by Waymer. And out of bounds with a first down at the 32. A gain of 21 yards.
The offensive line's doing a great job for Steve Walsh, keeping the pressure away from him. That was a long and slow developing play, the crossing route to Turner. But with the time to throw in the pocket, Walsh delivers again.
That's 4 catches for the afternoon for Floyd Turner. He came in with 45.
And he got hurt on the first play of the game.
Right.
He bruised his hip.
2 timeouts left. 32 seconds remaining in the game in the first half. And the Saints trail by 7. Walsh, 14 of 22 for 164 yards. Deep left side, zone coverage, and the catch is not made. Out of bounds. Floyd Turner again.
Well, Turner came in and hurt his hip on the very first play. We've already seen one big hit on Floyd. Now he has the other side of the field. It's the zone route right in the dead area again. The ball is well thrown, but Todd Bowles, again recognizing where Walsh wanted to throw the ball, got a good break in the secondary and knocked it away.
If they don't gain another yard, it'll be a 49-yard field goal attempt for Morton Anderson, well within his range. They'd like some more. They'd like 7, as a matter of fact. 2nd down and 10. Fumble. Sack. That's out of field goal range.
This is why a lot of coaches hate the shotgun formation, because if you have a fumble, it can be so disastrous. This play here may cost the Saints any shot at all of getting a field goal try. It was a good snap by Hilgenberg, but Walsh couldn't make the catch. He has to eat it and take his team out of field goal range for now.
That's a loss of 16 yards.
But when I played for San Diego, we never used the shotgun formation because Coryell did not want to put me back there where I might fumble a snap. He knew I had enough trouble fumbling snaps from underneath the center, let alone going back 5 yards.
Did you fumble a lot?
Yes, in fact, I want to take this moment to wish Dave Craig a lot of luck this afternoon in his game against the Kansas City Chiefs, because he needs one more fumble to become the all-time fumbler in the NFL history. and take me off that hook.
Well, that's a nice lead into a promo, because we're going to have a special presentation at halftime involving the two all-time leading fumblers in the National Football League.
I want to thank all my teammates, all the centers that I played with. I'll get on with the list of thank yous.
Third down. A three-man rush. Walsh, Turner at the 36, and this will give Anderson a chance for a long field goal attempt.
They better call timeout, though.
Pretty quickly, they've got one left. And now they have used their final timeout with 7 seconds to go. Now, how ironic as Morton Anderson trots on. His long this season is 60 yards, longest in the league since '84. He missed a 55-yarder last week in overtime against Atlanta, and Jim Mora passed on giving him a second chance from the same distance. Said he had not warmed up well and he wasn't kicking well.
And although he is a 47% kicker from over 50 yards, he has missed 4 of his last field goals from any range in a bit of a slump.
52 yards. Tommy Barnhart is the holder. Through from this range in pregame warm-ups. That does have enough distance. It's good! So they overcome the fumble. They get enough yardage back, and Anderson salvages 3 for the New Orleans Saints.
Boy, and he hits it just perfect. The snap is right on the money. The hold is perfect. And then the pop. And this goes over by about, 3 or 4 yards. You don't think that Jim Mora was with this ball every spin? Yeah.
Whoa. That pass is for jubilation for Jim Mora.
He can barely control himself there, Kenny.
14-10 with 2 seconds to go.
But they overcome that disastrous fumble. They had Anderson in chip shot range for him. But again, 47% from over 50 yards in his career, and that number will go up because of that 52-yarder just there.
Now Anderson needs one of those touchbacks for which he has become so well known. Dexter Carter, thinking of the 98-yarder he returned the last time he touched the ball.
And it'll be interesting to see if Anderson elects to kick deep or if he squibs it. 49ers are expecting an onside kick. They're all up close.
Squib kick. And that'll be the final play of the half. So Dexter Carter gets a 98-yarder, Anderson a 52-yard field goal. That's the end of the half with our score. The 49ers 14 and the New Orleans. And this time the Saints secure him short of the 20-yard line.
He did a heck of a job of just regaining his composure there, picked the ball up and had a heck of a return out to the 18-yard line after fumbling on the 1.
Steve Bono, 9 of 15 for 104 and a touchdown in the first half. Drafted in the 6th round by the Minnesota Vikings in 1985, spent 2 years there, didn't play much, went to Pittsburgh, started 3 strike games in 1987, backed up Malone and Brister, was released, signed as a free agent by the 49ers in 1989 to compete with Kevin Sweeney for the 3rd spot on the roster.
And he's going to have to call timeout because the play clock is almost out. This is not the way you want to start your first play of the second half. Confusion there by Bono as to what play he should call, and he should have a real clear idea of what that play would be. He had 15 minutes to think about it in the locker room.
Steve Young, who is active today, Joe Montana. Steve Bono. Ironically enough, when Bono was a junior at UCLA in 1983, he got a start against Brigham Young. He threw for 399 yards. Steve Young was the starting quarterback then for Brigham Young.
And Young is wearing a very large brace on his left knee. And there you see it on his left leg there. That's, we used to refer to that as putting the old trash can on the leg. There's very few things that can penetrate those braces. And now they're looking to put 10 seconds on the play clock.
Please put 10 seconds on the play clock.
10 seconds being put back on the play clock. And now we are told it is for the second time in the game, not a charge timeout.
And they still don't have 10 seconds on the play clock.
Rathman and Carter behind Steve Bono. Going deep right side. Caught by Jerry Rice.
Well, Bono went to the sidelines and he got the right play. Throw it deep to Jerry Rice. Tight coverage by Vince Buck. But this is why Jerry Rice is the best in football today and maybe of all time, knowing where the ball is and then being able to make the grab. The Saints had a lot of time to chase him down because the ball was up in the air for a long time. Gene Atkins comes over, but this is just fantastic. It's so fun to watch a great player like Jerry Rice make great plays. We saw Taylor do it in the first half on his touchdown reception. If the Saints don't give up, Toy Cook goes down there as well as Atkins, and they stop him before he gets in the end zone.
Jerry Rice has not caught a pass in his last 5 games. That is the longest stretch of his career. He's got 87 coming in. We talked with Steve Bono last night about the problems that Vince Buck has had in recent games, and Bono kind of grinned and said, yeah, it gives us ideas.
Well, Vince Buck has 5 interceptions, and that ties him for the NFC lead, but that also tells every quarterback in the league that that's the guy that everybody's throwing at. And lately, they've had a lot of success throwing at Vince Buck.
52-yard gain for Rice from Bono. Rice in motion. Bono looks at Rice, incomplete. And it was Reginald Jones who had replaced Vince Buck at cornerback who made the defensive play. He had a 51-yard interception return last week. Jones, that is.
But Buck, of course, gave up those 3 big plays last week against the Falcons to Michael Haynes. If Haynes makes that grab, he's in the end zone with his speed, but Rice doesn't have that speed, and the Saints kept him out.
Keith Henderson back in the lineup now. Second down and 10. Henderson, draw play. Brett Maxey makes the tackle as a flag comes fluttering, holding against the 49ers. Bring him back.
Mark Bright says he tackled him.
More than a hold.
He threw the flag. Now he's looking for a captain.
Holding number 67, offense. 10-yard penalty, second down.
That's Roy Foster. Played with you in the Pro Bowl once.
Yeah, and I had the hardest time not calling him Rod Foster, the basketball player at UCLA back a few years ago. And I called him Rod one too many times in the huddle, and he grabbed me by the face mask and he said, "Hey, man, my name is Roy Foster, not Rod." I got it that time.
Second down and 20. Wallace in a 2-point stance. Swilling takes an inside run. Here he comes, and he gets to Bono as the pass is caught. John Taylor. But pretty good pursuit by the New Orleans Saints. And Steve Bono had Pat Swilling for lunch. Just beat him. Taylor with a big grin. And acknowledgement for Bono standing in tough.
Well, this is really not a well-advised pass by Bono.
Ooh.
Rolling out to his right. finding a receiver, but the receiver is way over to the left. That might have been called against Swilling. But now this is what Taylor does so well, is just run in the open field. And Harris Barton playing a little sheriff there, trying to pick off one of those defenders before they hit John Taylor.
3rd and 15. 14-10 ball game. Comes the corner blitz from Atkins. The pass caught by Jerry Rice. And Swilling with the tackle at the 25. That's 5 yards short of the first down. And the field goal unit will come on, and that means Mike Kofer, who has had simply a horrendous season. There is a Saint player down. It's Vince Buck.
The more you hear people describe the play of Steve Bono, the more they say he reminds them of Joe Montana. Watch as he just bounces around in the pocket here. If you put a number 16 on that jersey, you might have a pretty good argument there. And that brings up an interesting point as to what the 49ers do next year when Montana's healthy and the 49ers have 3 outstanding quarterbacks if Bono continues to play well.
Well, as a matter of fact, Joe Montana was quoted this week as saying he thought the 49ers would not protect him in Plan B next year. I can't imagine that.
Well, you know, there's some people that are thinking that's not going to happen. First of all, they're going to protect Montana. But the interesting thing about Bono and his progression and how well he's done is now, do you keep him as your backup to Montana and trade Steve Young and get another running back perhaps, or you get a bunch of draft picks, kind of like the Herschel Walker deal with Minnesota and Dallas? But Bono, his stock has gone way up, being a stockbroker that he is, with his play the last 2 weeks. And now today he's off to a fantastic start. He's got his team ahead of the Saints. But that's an interesting scenario. What do you do next summer if Montana comes back 100%?
Meanwhile, time continues out on the field. Vince Buck is the injured New Orleans Saints, and I think they're asking for the stretcher to be brought on the field.
My great-grandfather was 15 when he left to seek his fortune in the Alaskan gold rush. His journals were our roadmap to adventure.
Today we crossed the Matanuska Pass, the most unforgiving country you ever laid eyes on. I've heard thunder on a clear day, seen ice that don't melt even in June, and a sun that never sets.
There are things more precious than gold, and from the look on their faces, I think we found it.
Toyota 4Runner. When it comes to adventure, no one goes as far as we do.
A mistake was made. Okay, we forgot. We overlooked it.
Say you need something sent overnight. There are a few companies you can call, but say you need it Saturday morning, guaranteed. There are 2, but only one is so efficient.
Bobby, just give me a couple of minutes.
They get it there on time for far less, which is why to some, there is only one, UPS.
12, who's 12? 40. Yeah, let's go get them on.
Took all day. But they finally came up with one very big idea. What do you bet they printed on a laser jet from Hewlett-Packard?
They have brought the stretcher out for cornerback Vince Buck, the rookie from the New Orleans Saints. And Dan and I were present in Detroit 2 weeks ago when Mike Utley was hurt, and obviously the nature of his injury immediately comes to mind. Let's take a look at it.
Well, it's the second shot here. There's Buck 26, and now Brett Maxey comes in and snaps his head back. Of course, we're not going to speculate. The one thing we do know is that the care in the National Football League for injuries is first rate. And the doctors down on the field, they will do everything they can to secure Vince to the stretcher, put him on the gurney, take him off the field, have x-rays taken, and if need be, take him to the nearest hospital. But the care is just, you couldn't get better care than he will get right now. We've seen his hands move.
Now they are securing him to the stretcher, and obviously a special care taken in the event of a neck injury. They are securing his head to the stretcher as well.
Vincey Glenn right there.
Matter of fact, the entire
Jackson.
New Orleans defensive team is gathered around Ricky Jackson. Vince Buck, a second-year player from Central State in Ohio, an NAIA school. And the obvious concern shown by his teammates. Now, X-ray technology is available in the locker room, and so they will take those X-rays immediately. Jim Mora looking on with concern on the far side.
And in light of what has happened to Mike Utley, people want to know, is there anything you can do about the game to make it safer? And I don't think there really is. Players have the very best equipment, but the one thing you always worry about is when players lead with their head to make a tackle, and to be a defensive player, you almost have to do it to make that big hit. But his hands are moving. That's a great sign. And to secure the head to the gurney like that is an important thing to do.
Well, I mentioned that Dan and I were present in Detroit when Mike Utley was injured so severely and paralyzed apparently for life. We also were present last week in Tampa Bay when Jeff Hostetler went down. Similar kind of circumstance in that his head was secured, and the news there much better, and we'll get that to you as soon as we receive it. Now, 42-yard field goal attempt for Mike Kofer, who has had a miserable season. But this one could have been through from 60. Holy cow, did he pop that. 42 yards for Mike Kofer, who is now 12 of 24 for the season, hitting only 50%. But that 3 gives the Saints a 7-point lead.
You made me love you. You made me want you.
You know you want the luscious taste of McDonald's Big Mac. Add fries and a Coke for a deal that's irresistible. The extra value meal at McDonald's today.
You know you made me love you.
With a 2,510-pound payload, a 5,000-pound towing capacity, and a powerful V6 engine, the 1992 Toyota one-ton pickup might just surprise you.
Would you like a gift wrap?
Sure, it's not too much trouble.
Would you like the red ribbon or the green?
The red.
Sir, is there some small errand you might run while we finish this up? We're running just a teensy bit behind.
What time should I come back?
Friday.
Friday?
Well, we're running just a teensy bit behind.
At least one thing won't go wrong this holiday season. Tots.
Christmas is Wednesday.
Well, we're running just a teensy bit behind.
Make it special. Make it Tots.
Nick fights the drug war undercover.
I did not order a gardener.
Landscaping architect. Sweating bullets on CBS Late Night tomorrow.
49ers are up by 7 rather than the Saints after that 42-yard field goal, and we do have a preliminary report from the New Orleans bench on Vince Buck. We are told that at least the initial diagnosis is that he's suffering from a pinched nerve. Now, we'll pass amplification upon that, of that as soon as we get it. Pinched nerve is the initial report. Stanford Jennings out to the 22-yard line. So the 49ers get a 52-yard pass play to Jerry Rice to set up a 42-yard field goal. Now the Saints have the ball on offense. Coming up next week at 12:30 Eastern Time, some of you will see Green Bay at Chicago, and others will watch the Saints go to Dallas And late games include San Francisco at Seattle, or others of you will see Atlanta at the Los Angeles Rams. All of it begins with the NFL today, the last word before kickoff next Sunday. 17-10 49ers. Walsh back. Right side, nice pass. Quinn early, first down at the 36.
The rap against Steve Walsh has always been his arm strength, but you can overcome arm strength with good timing. Watch as the receiver comes down and in, and the ball is already on the way, and it's thrown in a perfect spot away from the defender, and Walsh starts the second half with a completed pass and a first down.
Buffalo defeats the Jets, and Miami rolls over Tampa Bay. First down and 10 from the 37. Missed him. McAfee squirts for about 4 yards. The Redskins playing down the coast in Los Angeles. The shuttle about to land. Here's Greg Gumbel.
All right, Vern, Redskins need a win or a tie to clinch the NFC East. Mark Rippon 30 yards to Ricky Sanders for a 14-6 Redskin lead over the Rams. And yes, best touchdown of the day is Space Shuttle Atlantis a short while ago at Edwards Air Force Base, Vern.
That is good news. Leaving Tampa last week, the pilot on our flight said, folks, if you'll look out the left side of the aircraft, you can see the shuttle taking off. First time I've ever seen it. It was awesome. And that was from 100 miles away. Second down. Walsh, screen play. Fennerty darts to the inside and then back out, first down. And Charles Haley limped off the field play before last. That's a gain of 11.
And Haley's playing with a bad hamstring, so we'll see Tim Harris take his place and see if he can contribute to the 49ers. A little disappointed with his play. Some of the 49er officials are wondering, you know, does he still have what attracted so many people? And that's the ability to get after the quarterback. Harris only has 1 sack so far for the 49ers.
Held out in Green Bay, acquired into the season. First down and 10, 9:50 to go, quarter number 3. Tice in the motion. Walsh, left side. Tice was held up. Initial contact, no flag. Don Griffin defending.
This is what the 49ers are talking about. Watch as Harris gets to the inside, but can't quite finish off the play as he beats Halverdink and appears to have a clear sailing at the quarterback. But he trips on Halverdink's ankle, and Walsh gets the ball off. Not quite the same player as he was with the Green Bay Packers.
Second down and 10. 17-10, 49ers lead. Walsh behind, whoops. Mix up with he and Buford Jordan on that play. Views from overhead taken from the Fuji blimp. Candlestick on the peninsula. The pilots of the Fuji blimp were Captains John McHugh and Dominic Lanier. The Fuji USA blimp.
Be a great day for a blimp ride, wouldn't it?
That may be our escape to the airport. Walsh with time. Double coverage. Incomplete to Newman. Todd Bowles. The first man there.
This is 3 times now that Todd Bowles has got to have his hands on the ball. Receiver comes down. The other defensive back is with him. Walsh throws this ball into double coverage. Lewis has great coverage underneath, and Bowles comes over the top, almost picks it off.
Tommy Barnhart will punt on 4th down. John Taylor waits at the 10-yard line. That will sail over Taylor's head. Touchback. And it comes out to the 20-yard line. 47-yard punt for Barnhart. 9:19 remaining, quarter number 3. 49ers are up by 7.
It's been almost 2 hours.
Tom.
He was just going to the store, wasn't he?
You know Kevin.
He does this every time. Well, he's your brother.
Well, you gave him the keys.
The Toyota Celica, rated by brothers-in-law everywhere as their favorite car to borrow.
I think I see headlights.
24 hours a day across Europe, Asia, and America. Over 70,000 of the best people on the ground are working to bring you the best service in the sky.
Delta, we love to fly and it shows.
More valuable than most, this umbrella. 50% of the Fortune 500 carry it for their insurance and investment needs. Open in case you want quality and service the traveler's way. You're better off under the umbrella.
An early season clash of perennial titans. Kentucky battles Indiana in the season premiere of NCAA basketball on CBS Sports next Saturday.
9:19 remaining, quarter number 3 from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. The 49ers up 14-10 at halftime. Got a 42-yard field goal from Mike Cofer. They lead by 7, trying to win their 3rd in a row for the first time this year and go above 500 for the first time and deny the Saints their first sweep since '79. Bono backs out, looks deep, fires left side to Clint Jones, but that was way wide to the left, and a flag is down. And they're going to get Bono for intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. Number 13. The penalty enforcement is the spot of the pass, and the down counts. It's 2nd down.
Brent Jones was in the area. By area, I mean within 10 yards.
Well, it's a judgment call by the official, but the official can't see Jones right here, number 84, who is in the area. As you said, that's about 10 yards away. That's a bad call because the official couldn't tell where the receiver was down the field.
Bono, right side, Rice. Reginald Jones knocks him out of bounds. And that brings up further news about Vince Buck. It has been confirmed he is suffering from a pinched nerve. We are further told that he did experience some loss of feeling in his legs. However, and here's the most positive news, he does have movement in his legs. And so, good news.
Yeah, and we appreciate the job of Rusty Kazmierski, the PR director for the Saints, in giving us that information so we could give it to you at home.
Yeah, nice job. Quickly done. Third down. Jackson coming. Henderson short of the first down at the 26. And Joe Prokop will come on to punt.
And that's going to be an adventure for the 49ers. They've had all kinds of trouble with settling on a punter this year and last year. Prokop has not exactly set the world on fire with his punts. Last week, he just averaged 33 yards per kick against the Rams.
Ralph Moshienko was here earlier in the season. Barry Helton was here last year. And Gil Finnerty waits for Prokop's punt. Fair catch at the 40. So as as Steve Bono chats upstairs with Mike Holmgren, the offensive coordinator. His counterpart Steve Walsh leads the New Orleans offense onto the field. Well, hoops not that far away. The season premiere of our coverage of CBS NCAA basketball, Kentucky and Indiana, Saturday at 3:45 Eastern Time.
Yeah, the long road to the Final Four. And a couple of traditional great basketball programs there.
Bill Musgrave, who is inactive today, the so-called disaster quarterback for the 49ers on the sidelines. Whoops! McAfee slipped and fell. But he made sure he didn't lose the football.
Interesting watching Bill Musgrave here. Of course, went to the University of Oregon, was drafted by the Cowboys, is now out here with the 49ers. But the number 14, you see that number there. You see Bono out there with number 13. And for me, as a 49er fan, since I was very young, you see 14, and that's Tittle. You see 13, that's Frankie Albert. And Musgrave well aware of the number that he's wearing with the 49ers.
And so is Bono. He wanted 13. Steve Walsh said yesterday he's getting a little frustrated at times with run, pass. Meanwhile, what's happening to the Redskins? Here's Greg Gumbel.
Here's what's happening. Vern in Anaheim. Mark Rippon to Ricky Irvins out of the backfield, 25 yards. The rookie's first touchdown reception of his career. It's now a 21-6. Redskins lead over the Rams in the third quarter. Vern?
And, of course, the Redskins already in the playoffs since the division with a win today. They're fighting for home field advantage throughout. 3rd and 11. The Saints trying to win the division. Can't do it today, but they need a win. Here's Turner. Boyd Turner. Todd Bowles with the tackle at the 20. A 41-yard gain from Steve Walsh.
Take a look at the coverage on the 49ers. Remember, we talked about Todd Bowles, but watch this time as he'll go out and help the outside receiver. That leaves Turner down the middle. You can't cover them all, but this is a fine pass and catch and run, and the Saints get it all the way down to about the 20-yard line. Todd Bowles finally comes over and makes the tackle.
Boyd Turner having a big day, 6 catches for 98 yards. And McAfee plunges down to the 15. Dave Weimer with the tackle.
Number 43 is Dave Weimer, and he does an outstanding job of filling this hole. Look at what he's got coming at him. He's got Brock 67, and now he waits for some of his teammates to take the interference out, and he gets in on the tackle.
The San Francisco 49ers defense has not allowed a 100-yard receiver in the last 17 games. Boyd Turner has 98 yards. McAfee down near the 11-yard line, make it the 12. The tackle made by Dennis Brown, number 96.
Saints have always been one of the better road teams in the National Football League, and I think a lot of it has to do with their style of play. It is conservative, but it is error-free for the most part. The thing that Mora talked about yesterday is we've got to overcome some of the big plays that have been happening to us and be less predictable on defense in the 2-minute situation. His offense has been very impressive a couple of times on some long drives.
3rd and 2. Saints trail by 7. McAfee. Touchdown, New Orleans. His second as a pro.
This is a great run by McAfee because he shows patience. Watch the 49ers. It appears there's about 3 guys that have got a shot at him, but he just dips inside, then to the outside in a fine screen block by Turner allows him to go in untouched.
Second touchdown of his rookie career, 12 yards.
A perfect hesitation move in the hole, cut to the outside, and then up the field and into the end zone.
Anderson for the tie. Fred McAfee, 61 yards in his first appearance against the Saints, 80 yards this afternoon.
All right, all right.
There are plenty of light beers out there.
I'm still light, right?
But if you're looking for one that's not like all those other lights, if you're looking for one that's imported and tastes that way,
I'm still light? Right.
if you're looking for one that has a full, rich taste, one that has everything you love about beer,
I'm still light, right?
if that's what you're looking for in a light beer, then the choice comes down to one.
Bartender? Right.
The network. It's the most powerful tool in business today. At GTE, we can put that power in your hands. The power of a personalized communications network designed for the success of your business alone. The growth of your business, the prosperity of your business. We've done it for others. We'll do it for you. Because at GTE, the power is on.
To change the image of a Rebel, change lenses. You've got the Rebel camera. Now get the EOS lenses.
Image is everything.
EOS Rebel and lenses from Canon. So advanced, it's simple.
The Black & Decker Air Station. It has all the pressure you need to inflate anything. Fast. The Black & Decker Air Station. Always at your service.
You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
If the blimp doesn't get us to the airport, that will. San Francisco.
That's riding in style there.
You bet. 17-17, New Orleans and the 49ers.
They're a little late for kickoff, though.
Yep. Checking the still photographs that are taken and transmitted down to the bench.
And if he's looking at that touchdown run, he's not going to like what he sees. Beautiful blocking by the Saints.
Here's Anderson. Spencer Tillman at the 4. Long time unstacking the pile. It would appear the 49ers have it from the reaction of both teams. That's the indication. '49er football.
We talked about the good blocking on the touchdown run. Let's take a look at it. Go ahead and roll it. We'll stop it as we check out some of these blocks. Number one right here, Buford Jordan. Right here is Hobie Brenner, but watch Brenner. He's not through yet. He's going to bury Romanowski there. And now, at the end of the play, the screen block for the touchdown.
McAfee second, Henderson and Rathman in the backfield. Bono, left side, one number to Jerry Rice. Well, Dan, we talked about the defensive tactic of the New Orleans Saints at the beginning of the game, how they were going to try and double the outside receivers and make the 49ers run. 5 catches for Jerry Rice, 4 for Taylor, and only 23 yards on the ground. How's it work?
Well, it's kind of worked backwards for them because they have stopped the run, but they have not been able to stop Rice and Taylor. But they've only allowed 1 touchdown, and that was a great catch by John Taylor through the air.
Second and 10 from the 21, 17-17 game. Henderson goes by Swilling, but Ricky Jackson makes the stop from behind, and Toy Cook comes up to help. 49ers 6-6, but it's really deceiving. In their 6 wins, they have averaged winning by almost 19 points. And in the 6 losses, the average loss 4.3. Their biggest loss, 7 points to this same New Orleans team.
And if you look at their record at 6-6, that's the old half empty or half full. But it depends on which direction you're heading. With 2 straight wins, their glass is half full.
Bono back, left side, tipped away. Gene Atkins got in front of Brett Jones. And it'll bring up 4th down. Well, what's at stake? The 49ers really must win. They must win all 4. And for the New Orleans Saints, trying to avoid the debacle of 3 years ago when they were 9-3, lost a Sunday night game, a heartbreaking loss to the New York Giants, also lost to Minnesota and to these 49ers. They wound up beating Atlanta in the last week, but finished 10-6 and lost the tiebreaker. Bennerty is back to return the punt. The block is coming, and here comes Prokop, fumbles the ball. Saints have it. James Williams, number 90.
We mentioned it would be an adventure when Prokop goes back there to punt. The pressure is on him immediately. It's a good snap.
Toy Cook is coming.
And Toy Cook got his hand on a punt last week, just deflected it. But now the ball is stripped by Williams and recovered by Williams.
Second 49er turnover. Williams strips it, recovers it, and the Saints have the ball at the 14. Inside the 10 to the 7. Further update on Vince Buck, all x-rays negative. And indications are that though he obviously will not return to this game, he will be able to accompany the team home on the charter flight after the game. He will not be forced to stay in the hospital here in the San Francisco area.
And that's great to have those x-ray machines available in each stadium, as they do here at Candlestick, to get that information and let everybody know he's okay.
3 tight end set now. 2nd down and 3. Fred McAfee inside the 5, near the 4. That might be enough for the 1st down.
Toy Cook making that play on Prokop. Actually, it was the first game between these two teams where he deflected a punt, got in on Prokop, and the ball went down the field, so he didn't get credit for a block, but he did get his hand on it. And this time, he would have smothered that one. That was actually a heads-up play by Prokop, trying to run for the 1st down, but then not securing the ball.
Toy Cook, Toy Fitzgerald Cook, who's back in the neighborhood. He's a graduate of Stanford Mass Communications, where he was also an All-American baseball player. 1st and goal from the 3. McAfee, the only setback. Strips and falls. Oh! It's another great fake. And a touchdown. Walsh, marvelous play action behind the line of scrimmage. Sold the fake to McAfee and finds Turner for the touch.
Well, if he can fake you out twice like this, Vern, he's doing a heck of a job. Watch the fake to the left side here to McAfee. And he fools a few 49ers too, and now he gets lucky because Merton Hanks has the coverage, but he just couldn't pick the ball up in time. Remember, these receivers and defensive backs in this part of the field are looking right back into the sun, and Turner makes the grab for the 6. Now we're going to review it.
Of course.
Naturally.
For a touchdown that's being reviewed by instant replay.
Question is, did he have both of his feet in bounds? There's 1, 2. Well, kind of blocked by Antonio Goss.
If that's the only angle we have, then, well, we don't. We got this one, so this ought to show us right here. There's the right foot, and now the left foot.
Toes.
But is that conclusive enough to overturn it? I think he's out of bounds here. I don't think that should count.
But is that demonstrative enough? Oh, boy. Dave Kamansky is the replay judge. And, of course, it's indisputable visual evidence to overrule the call. That's what's needed.
He just has his toenails down of his left foot right here. But I believe that is out of bounds. But it's not conclusive enough to overturn the call.
In part because Merton Hank's feet get in the view of Floyd Turner's feet.
And there's a good example of why this is not an infallible way of deciding plays.
Now, supposing that his toes.
No, you got to have both feet in. No way we can tell because of Antonio Goss in the way there, number 98. Let's see what they say from upstairs.
Here's Mark Wright.
The receiver was ruled forced out of bounds. Replay is out of the play. It's a touchdown.
Wow. Now that...
Why didn't they say that to begin with?
Exactly.
Because that's a call that's made on the field. They sent it up to replay at first, and now they come down with this explanation. Something's fishy.
Anderson's extra point is good.
It didn't appear that he was forced out at all.
No.
It appeared that he came down, tried to get his feet inbounds. Well, that's a real strange call. Why did it take him so long to decide that he was pushed out of bounds? Why didn't they say on the field immediately after it happened? We'll never know.
Remains a valid question.
It was a heck of a catch, though.
Floyd Turner has become the first receiver because of that call to go above 100 yards in receiving. He's got 101.
Where's he forced out of bounds? Now there's the official right there. He makes no call except touchdown. And Hanks does not push him. He doesn't pull him. Turner comes straight down, gets the call by the official, and then they go into a song and dance about whether he's inbounds, forced out, or whatever. Now, from this angle, you can almost tell.
Well, the New Orleans Saints thought they might have a chance to cinch the division this afternoon.